I'll be 1 second and I'm done. I've been trying to send this for about 25 minutes and I had to send that for someone to do a quote and away. Okay. Oh, we're doing a big job at the desal plant. Right. So we got $500,000 worth of work there in the first stage and probably about the same in the second stage. So yeah, we used to build pergolas. That was our core business to start with, but then we got over that way and now we just do commercial. So we got probably 7 vehicles and probably 12 or 13 blokes working for us at any given time. Yeah.
And you started out by yourself originally?
Yeah.
How long?
Yeah, 11 years ago.
Yeah.
At the Todd Street Incubator, I just started there on my own. Yeah, well, I'd been working for a company called Softwoods, and just as one of their design consultants. And then I thought, nah, look, I'll just start my own business and I can do this for myself. So then I started, niched away at it, and started and got bigger and started putting people on, and went from 1 carpenter part time to 2, 3, 4 gangs at one stage. Then we reduced and fine-tuned a little bit of what we did and specialised a bit more. And then we've just handed that business over this Christmas to some of our carpenters and one of the guys that used to work in the office for us, so they run that now. And we decided we just wanted to do more bigger scale things rather than the smaller things. So,
so you still own that business?
No, we just gave it to them.
Right. Oh, there you go. That's the well, that was your succession plan, I guess.
Well, this is just what we wanted to do. I mean, we made a fairly good profit out of what we do here with this sort of thing, with what we did here. So we're fairly well set up from this. So we didn't need to do it.
About that. I mean, obviously, from pergolas to building this, it's not a direct relationship sort of thing. Did you develop this idea while you're at the incubator, or?
We sort of outgrew the incubator after about 4 years, and we used to sort of take over half the building. We'd take all the basement over doing projects and painting stuff at night time, and then have to clean up, and it was just become too small for us, so we kept looking and looking for places to buy. And then this was a big site here that had 8 separate. Come in.
So you outgrew it, and you've been looking.
I've been looking and looking. This had 8 blocks on it. There was all sheds and old buildings on here, and there was an office here that we really wanted, which was a cream, horrible, daggy, really run-down squatters that lived in it and vandalised. But structurally, it was pretty good, so we thought we'd get that, do it up, sell all the rest of the blocks off, and keep that just as our place of business. So we moved in, we spent probably about $20,000 on tidying the building up and getting it habitable, and put security bars on windows and things like that. And then we thought, okay, let's start thinking about moving this on. And a guy came in and said, look, if you give me that street there, I'll build all these tilled up buildings and I'll give you one for a new office. Yeah. So I thought, okay, we'll have a look at it. Yeah, so he gave us his plan, and then I thought, nah, look, if he can do this, there must be a quid in it. So I sat down there and started working out, if we build 8 units on that street, what could we do, and this and that. And then by the time we finished, we had 20 on the plan, and that's where we went. So we started building and had pre-sales to go on with, so we worked around pre-sales.
So that's how you financed it?
Yeah, basically. Oh, we still went to the bank, but we had to have pre-sales to get the finance.
Yeah.
So we sold a couple to some of the guys from the business incubator. So Philippe and Marcus from there, and then a mate of ours bought 4. Mick, who was just here, bought 2. So we had plenty of pre-sales in hand, so we started building. And just really went from there. It was just we only started with putting 6 buildings up to start with, then we put 8 up, and then the last 6. So it was pretty good.
Yeah, sounds fantastic. And how did you manage to come in on budget? Because just because you've got so much experience and you know every part of the business. Well,
we knew the whole breakdown of the whole setup, so we knew what this was going to cost, and we had things locked in so there wouldn't be any blowouts and whatever. So. And we did a lot of it ourselves too. So, you know, things like we got our painters who do pergolas for us to paint and things like that, and just things like that. And then just shopping around for things we didn't know, like just the windows in this place were about $250,000, but we had quotes for $500,000.
How many hours did you put into the project?
Oh, too many. Enough to get in trouble at home for never being home. I'd start at work some mornings at 5:30, 4 o'clock, and get home at 9 or 10, and that would be regular, and work 7 days a week for a year, doing those sort of hours.
For about a year.
Yeah, at least. Yeah. But I used to work long hours before then anyway. But
what sort of hours were you working when you were doing
I'd always start at 7. Yeah. I'd even probably start before then sometimes, but I'd always get home 8:30, 9 o'clock. So I used to run a lot of it myself. I used to do all the quotes and designing and council approvals, and then as we got bigger, other people would come on, but then they'd pick up their own jobs and run with them as well. So we all had our equal share of things to do.
Well, 2 questions. Did you plan to get here, and do you have a plan for the future?
We wanted to be successful in what we did, and we did that okay, but I guess at the end of the day we got here, it was a bit of luck and finding the place, and then by building what we did sort of set the foundation for what we can do now. I mean, now we'll go into different sort of property development. We'll buy flats and units and do them up and release them or sell them, and like they say, the first million's the hardest one to make. I think the rest will be easy.
The incubator over there, I mean, you mainly use their premises, or did you use their services a lot? Do you still use their services?
Over the years, I guess when we first started, I needed somewhere to work from. I didn't want to work from home. I'd done that in the other business. So I was looking for a serviced office as much as someone at reception. And I guess over the years you get a relationship with people, and the people have become more friends than anything else. So it was really good that way, and the journey's been a good one, and we made a lot of friends out of it. So it's I mean, we still keep in touch with probably half a dozen people from there in different businesses, and we deal with a couple of them, people who deal with like our financial advice used to be there as well, and they'd moved out, and we talked to someone who used to run a Telstra business from there, and we talked to him quite often. And one of the guys, one of his mates now works for us and things like that. So it's a sort of a network of friends and business, and you know, so it's always good if you can know people like that, because you might have a question you want to ask, so it's there. So yeah, it's just the people you meet along the journey. I think it's important. So. And I mean, that's the nice thing about here. We made a lot of nice friends from doing this, and everyone here in this complex here is sort of a good network of people. You can go and ask someone for a favour, and it's no worries. So it's kind of nice.
You seem very happy man.
Always happy.
All right, we'll leave it there.
Cool. No worries.